Oh, good morning, everybody. My thought for you this week that I've been working with is on following prana. It's been what I've been talking about lately, is that a yoga practice is really at its foundation about understanding your own prana. It's about understanding the flow of your own life energy as it moves through your body, as it moves through your mind, and that you don't need something outside of you to make that make sense, right? That's not what a yoga practice is for, but it is to bring you into an awareness of how that energy is moving so that you can be guided by it, right? And since we're in a seasonal transition, we're in a life transition, right? This whole year has been a big transition for the way that we think, the way that we do things, but we're in that back to school, we're in that back to work, maybe not, but we're in the changing process, right? So we're in the moment between the way things used to be and maybe we want to keep them that way, and the way things have to start happening that is different, and maybe we're rushing towards that and maybe we're pushing it away, but we're in that transition, right? So moving into the Vata season, energy of change, energy of air, is that it's important to remember that the place that gets you out of that feeling of either the clinging or the pushing or the anxiety that comes with transition is neutral, right? It's a neutral place that says that I'm not reaching forward, I'm not reaching back, I'm really just looking for what's right here already. And from what's right here already, I can feel this is where I need to go next, right? Your prana will tell you this is what I need to do next. It's not in the kind of external list way of this is what I need to accomplish, but your prana will tell you I need to rest more. Your prana will tell you I need to move. Your prana will tell you I need to eat. Your prana will tell you, right? This is what's necessary to keep me in a state of steady. Because it doesn't matter what's happening on the outside, right? That's our yoga practices. What matters is that we are aware of that pranic flow on the inside. And that always has the ability to bring you back to a state that is steady, right? So comfortable seat, let the eyes close. And just start to become in tune with the breath. In tune with the breath in a way where you can feel the breath is flowing in and flowing out, not just through your effort. But the more you actually expand the lungs, you make space in the lungs as if the air rushes in. The more there is that feeling of expansion in your mind, knowingness, beingness rushes in. It's in the absence of thinking. This is that concept that we're said in meditation, or that the states of ecstasy are ones that are also empty. It doesn't mean that nothing's there, but it means that no force is being exerted to try and control what is there. Can you begin to cultivate that in you, where everything that is there, but where there is no force being exerted to try to control it. Instead, your awareness is in the expansion of your breath, the expansion of your mind. Your mind has no limits. And into that expansiveness, every bit of being floods in. Every breath is a creation and a dissolving in and of itself. Fun to watch you breathe in the beginning of class because you're all fidgety. Fun to watch yourself try to meditate in your mind. Breathe into what is expansive. And agree with yourself that you're going to keep your attention on this inner flow of breath, the inner flow of prana. The body will do what the body does, but keep your awareness here. Next breath, inhale the arms up alongside the ears, stretch as tall as you can. Interlace your fingers, press heels of the hands straight up. We're pressing out through the pinky fingers, pressing out through the thumbs, out through the palms. Squeeze the upper arms towards each other. And then drag your armpits down and lift your chest higher. Good. So you're pushing up and also dragging down. Beautiful. And then release the hands out and down, please, all the way down to the floor. Good. Turn your palms to face up. Inhale the arms back up to the sky. Good. Interlace your fingers. Press heels of the hands up. Squeeze the upper arms. Good. Pull the armpits down. Lift your chest. Breathe into the back of your rib cage because you already forgot. Good. And then stretch the arms out and down again. Palms reaching towards the floor, fingers towards the floor. One more time, turn your palms to face up. Take the arms around and up, all the way to the sky. Interlace the fingers, press the heels of the hands up, up, up. Good. Pull that low rib cage in as you drag those armpits down. Breathe into the back of your rib cage, your middle back. So not just your upper shoulders, but that space, bra line and below, shoulder blades and below. Good. And then fold the palms together. Bring the hands straight down the center line to the heart. We'll open sound of Om. Deep breath in. And let the eyes float open. Nice, you guys. You can release your hands to the front of the knees or the thighs and start to circle your torso, please. Move yourself in nice big spirals. Good. Seat nice and steady. Nice, you guys. That creation and dissolving every breath, that you are allowing that process to happen without trying to exert control. Right? That's sort of our definition for how the ego operates in the mind, is it wants to control, it wants to direct, it wants to take credit for whatever happens. Move yourself the other direction, please. So when it's said in a yoga practice that we're trying to dissolve the ego or destroy the ego or get beyond the ego, what are we trying to get beyond? Only that feeling that we have to exert control over what's happening inside of us or outside of us. If we can get that fundamental concept, we become very clear in that, then every other practice becomes much more simple. Come back to stillness, cat-cow your spine, forward and back, inhaling up, lengthening, widening the chest, exhaling, curling and rounding, holding the front of the knees or the thighs. Keep going, inhaling, lifting long, and exhaling, curling in. Good, let your head be part of that. So you're letting the head tilt back and drop forward with each breath. Nice. Lots of different ways to talk about becoming empty, lots of different ways to talk about getting beyond the ego. But what is beyond the ego that is right in front of you is your prana. It's everything. It's literally your body. It's literally your mind. To be reminded that you don't need anything else to understand peace. You don't need anything else to experience it except that. Kind of nice and frustrating because it means you have everything that you have already. You just have to figure out what the heck to do with it. Good. Come back to stillness, please. Roll forward onto hands and knees. Good. Stretch the right leg back behind you. Yep. Toes tucked on the floor for a moment. Press that foot down. So again, just be careful here, Stacy, with that foot that is injured. And drag that heel forward. So pull the thigh up into your hip socket and feel your butt lift just a little higher. Push into that left shin. Good. And then feel your armpits move forward over your wrists a little bit more, round into your upper back just a little bit more. Good. And then really hug those arms up, up, up into your shoulders. And then float that right leg up off the floor. Yeah. Deep breath in. Nice. And then exhale, bring that knee forward towards your right armpit. So bring your knee out wide and forward. Touch that right elbow. Good. And then extend it all the way back. Yep. Nice. And then bring it forward again. Don't let your spine collapse. Don't let your mid-back collapse. Bring it forward, squeeze it in, and then send it back behind you. Good. Last time, bring it forward, inner thigh towards the floor. Bring that knee up towards your armpit. Yeah, and then extend it back behind you. Hold it there. Good. Walk the left arm forward, please. Take your balance. So the right leg is lifted, left arm lifts. Yeah. Nice. And then bend that right knee again. Knee points down, kick the heel in, reach back for the foot or the ankle if you'd like, or stay where you are. You got it. Don't collapse that middle back though. So even holding the foot, I want you to kick the foot back against the hand, pull your thigh up into the hip socket, round into your back rib cage, and then lift your heart higher. So you find a bigger stretch through your back, but not because you pushed forward through your ribs. Good. Chest up, chest up, chest up. Yes. There you go. And then extend all the way back out. Nice job. And release back to hands and knees. Good. Wiggle the hips if they need. And then hands underneath the shoulders. Left leg comes back behind you, toes tucked on the floor. So you pause there in that half preparation like you're going to go into plank. Pull that thigh forward and up so that you have this feeling that the top of your pelvis lifts up. You push your butt towards the sky a little more. And then your low ribs pull up, so round into your upper back. So you're taking the weight out of your hands. Nice. Good. And now stay like that and lift that left leg up parallel to the floor. Good. Don't drop the ribs. Nice. Bring the left knee forward towards your left elbow. Squeeze it forward as far as you can. Try not to lean onto that right side. Try to keep your pelvis level. Extend that left leg back behind you. Good. Lift the back of your throat. Bring that left knee forward again. Good. Don't drop the ribs. Keep lifting. Good. Extend all the way back out. And one more time, bring it forward towards your armpit. Don't collapse in your upper back. Keep lifting your ribs to the sky. Good. And then extend all the way back. Hold it there. Nice. Right arm walks forward. Take your balance. Good. You're still pulling the top of that left thigh up and in towards the pelvis, so don't give up on that. And then bend the knee. Kick your heel in. Reach the right hand back to the left foot or the ankle if you'd like, or stay where you are. Good. So the knee points down in this variation, and you're pressing the foot against your hand, and you're lifting your chest super high. So it's still ribs go to the ceiling, lower back goes to the ceiling, and you lift your chest up, up, up to find your back bend. Awesome. Nice melody. And then extend yourself all the way back out. Good. And then back to hands and knees. Nice job. Knees go wide for a moment. Drop your hips back to your heels. Child's pose. Good. Walk to your right so you come over that right thigh. And move your belly, move your ribs. Don't just walk your hands to the right, but move your whole side body so that your belly is literally resting over your right thigh. I want you to move that much. Yeah. And then maybe you're really going to feel something on your left side waist. Good. Walk it back towards center, please. Take it the other way over the left thigh. Again, move the whole belly. Move your whole rib cage. You're literally resting over that left thigh. Nice. And then bring yourself back to center. Good job. Walk yourself back up to hands and knees. Bring your hands up to your hips, come to a high kneeling position, so all the way up, and then stretch your right leg out wide to the right. Yep, heel in line with the left knee. Good. Arms out wide, letter T. Again, make sure that your left hip is stacked on top of your left knee so that you don't have any extra effort happening there that doesn't need to. Squeeze the legs towards each other. Good. Slide that right hand down the right leg, take the left arm over the ear. Yeah. Keep squeezing the legs towards each other. Slide that right hand a little further. Good. Navel to spine. So you're reaching armpit to hip. Good. And then come back up to center. Arms are wide. Nice. You're going to do the same thing again. So reach the right hand down the right leg. Take the left arm over. That was just to give that side body a little bit of a reset. Come back to center. Something about Vata season, right? What helps to bring that sense of steadiness to the mind and the body is repetition. Doesn't have to be complicated things, but when you repeat things in a steady way, it helps to bring prana, helps to bring awareness back into steadiness. So make a habit of not doing things just once, but try to repeat. Come all the way back up, arms wide. Good. Third time, extend that right arm out like you're going to bring it down to the thigh, but don't. Just extend it all the way out like you're coming into triangle pose. Extend, extend, extend. You got it. And then bring your left arm over the ear as well. So both arms reach straight out to the side. Good. And then really pull through your side ribs. Try to extend longer, like you're going to reach those hands towards the ankle. Pull, 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 pull. Squeeze the legs towards each other. Nice. And then drop that right hand down. Left arm continues to extend. Beautiful. And then bring it all the way back up. Nicely done, you guys. Good. Release the hands, switch sides. So take the right knee down to the floor. Take your left leg out. Good. Heel in line with the right knee. Arms go wide. Good. And then left arm slides down the left leg. Right arm comes over the ear. Yeah, so there's all sorts of things that could be happening here, right? You could be pushing your hips out to the right to try and make this feel like there's more going on in your side body than there is. Try not to do that. Squeeze that right hip in, that supporting hip. Good. You might be curling completely into your ribs and missing that bottom rib cage, your left rib cage getting longer. Good. Come all the way back up, arms wide. That same thing again, so reset yourself and then slide that left hand down the left leg, right arm over the ear. Good. You might be finding that you're sliding that left leg further away from your knee, creating almost like a tension because you're falling into a split. Don't let that foot fall too wide. Good. And then bring yourself all the way back up, arms wide. Third time, this is the no hands variation, right? So reach the rib cage out long, like you're coming into triangle, extend, extend, extend. And then bring the right arm over the ear as well. So both arms are reaching out to the side, parallel to the floor. Turn your right armpit up towards the ceiling. Turn your rib cage up towards the ceiling. So you change the rotation on that side waist. Good. Nice, nice, nice. Pull, pull, pull. And then left hand drops down. Right arm continues to reach for a moment. Nice, Nancy. Good, Susan. Nice, Meredith. And then bring yourself all the way back up. Good job, you guys. Come back to hands and knees, please. A little bit of hips. Downward facing dog. Good. Understanding your prana, what is happening seasonally, what is happening in the world around you, and how are you relating to it? Right leg up and back behind you, down dog split. Deep breath in. Good. Step that foot forward between the hands, lunge. Good. Then inhale the arms up, high lunge. Again, Stacy, if you need to have that back heel flat, make sure you take it flat. Good. And then exhale, hands down to the floor. Use blocks if you need. Keep the feet where they are, straight in the front thigh. Pull that back heel higher. So come to straight legs on both legs, but don't drop the back heel. Just pull it up. Good. Pull up through your pelvis. Drop your heart. Nice. And then bend the front knee again, please. Inhale the arms up to the sky. High lunge. Good. And then release the hands down to the floor with your breath. Deep breaths. And then lift those hips nice and high. Exhale. Fold deep. Press into the big toe mound of that front foot. Good. And one more time, bend the knee. Take the arms all the way up. High lunge. Good. And then left hand comes to outer right knee, please. Right hand comes to your lower back or extends back behind you, whichever works best for you. But bring that low back up. So puff out into your low spine. Pull your belly in and then twist to the right towards that front leg. Good, but keep, especially if your hand is there, keep pressing your low back into your hand so that you have this feeling of moving from the front of your body to the back of your body. Good. One more breath. Nice, and then bring yourself back to center, please. Arms to the sky. Good, and then release the hands down to the floor. Both hands inside the front foot, walk to your left until you come to the center of your mat. Take both legs to straight, turn the toes, pause. Oh my God, Prasarita Padottanasana. I start losing my Sanskrit now. Boy, I'm in trouble. Good, you guys. Hands touching something. Squeeze into your legs. Come up on the balls of your feet. Again, if that doesn't work for you, Stacy, stay where you are. Just squeeze in. Good. And then let the heels soften back to the floor. Bend your knees, take your thighs back, your butt back. Hands stay where they are, or even walk forward a little bit. Good. But pull your butt back and then lift your low belly so you're actually making that nice neutral line at your lower back. Good. And then take the legs back up to straight. Beautiful. Come up on the balls of your feet. Pull in and up through those inner thighs, through your outer shins. Squeeze. And then rest the heels back down to the floor. Bend your knees, drop your thighs back, butt back. Pull up through your low belly. So there's no dip in your lower back here. Good. And then straighten the legs again. Push the hips to the sky. One more time. Come up onto the balls of your feet. Nice. And then release the heels down to the floor, please. Hands underneath the shoulders. Take your right hand to your left ankle. Good. Left hand comes to your lower back or reaches to the sky, your choice. Again, if you're especially if you're pressing your hand to your lower back, keep pushing your sacrum up into your hand. Pull that right inner thigh wider. Turn your belly towards that left leg. Move your left shoulder back and wide, like you're gonna fall towards the upper right-hand corner of your mat. Good. And then release and switch. Come back to center, please. Left hand reaches for right ankle. Right hand comes to your lower back, or it can extend up to the sky. My only suggestion is that if you're reaching the arms straight up, don't forget that it's your shoulder that has to open. It's your side waist that has to open. Your arm pulls back and back and back. You can pull it right out of the socket and it's not going to make your twist any deeper. So fall to the upper left-hand corner of your mat. Throat back, heart back, inner thighs wide. Good. And then release back to center. Nice job, you guys. Walk back towards the top of your mat. Turn the right toes. Step back, downward facing dog. Keep breathing very deeply. This is how you start to regulate prana. You keep your breath steady as you are moving. So there's a difference between that influence of I want things to just be steady so that it can settle and trying to control what's there or isn't there. Left leg up and back behind you, down dog split. So that's the subtle line that we're walking, is not control, but can I create a steady container for my prana to reveal itself? Step my left foot forward. Yours too. Inhale the arms to the sky. High lunge. It's the collective me, right? When you're in that state, you find yourself connected to every being. So you step your left foot forward and it's my left foot steps forward. Deep breath in. Release the hands down to the floor. Make sure you have blocks under the hands if you need them. Don't change the feet, but start to straighten the front leg. Pull your hips high. Pull your back heel up so that back calf muscle stays awake. And the big toe mound of the front foot anchors to the floor. Good. Bend the front knee again. Inhale the arms up to the sky. High lunge. Keep your breath nice and long and deep. We're not doing anything complicated. Release the hands down to the floor. Good. Lift the hips straight in the front thigh. Lift the back heel. Drop in. Good. And then bend the front knee again. Come back to high lunge. Beautiful. And then come into your twist. Right hand reaches to the left knee. Left hand comes to your lower back, or it can extend back behind you straight from the shoulder, your choice. Again, that hand at the knee is you're pushing your knee wide into that hand. So there's an opening of your inner thigh, not just your knee, but your whole inner thigh. Your left butt cheek pushes wide. And then press your low back into your hand if your hand is there and turn the ribs a little deeper. Good. Back thigh is steady. Nice, you guys. Come back to center, arms to the sky. So again, you get full length on your spine, straight ahead, neutral. Release the hands down to the floor. Good. Both hands come inside the front foot. Walk to your right until you come back to the center of your mat. Straighten your legs, turn your toes. Good. Deep bow. Beautiful, you guys. Again, hands touching something. Come up on the balls of your feet. Lift your hips. Hug those outer shins in. Yeah. And then release the heels to the floor, please. Good. This time as you bend your knees, walk your hands forward. So drop your hips again. Walk your hands forward so it's like you're in an extended or a bent knee down dog. And stay there, cat-cow your spine. Drop your hips low. If your thighs are not paralleling the floor, you got to come lower. And as your thighs come to parallel the floor Again, you've got to push those inner knees wide, but hug your outer shins. Keep your hips low and steady. Move your spine. Yes. You've got to get into that fold of the low back, the fold of the hips, the legs with the lower spine. Good. And then come back to stillness, please. Walk the hands in. Take your legs back to straight. Beautiful. Pause for a moment. And then hands come to the hips, please. Come all the way up to stand. Heel toe your feet a little closer and then turn both feet out to 45 degrees. You're coming into high squat. So bend your knees. Your knees should be right over top of your ankles. So if you brought your feet too far in and your knees are going beyond your ankles and they're not anywhere near parallel to the floor, move your feet a little bit wider so that you have the space to let your thighs go longer. Even if it feels like they're not going to get there today, give yourself more space. Good. And then arms up alongside the ears. Interlace the fingers, press heels of the hands up. And then try to find that drawing in of your front ribs and that feeling of pressing from the front of your pelvis to the back of your pelvis. So your lower back gets full, your tail drops, and that front edge of your pelvic bones lift up, up, up. Good. Stay here or come up onto the balls of your feet. Lift your heels. As your heels lift, your thighs go wider, but you're still hugging your shins in and pulling up through the length of your spine. Nice. Drop those heels to the floor. Stay in that squat. Deep breath. Good. Straighten the legs. Nicely done. Turn your toes forward. Reach your hands back behind you. Interlace the fingers at the low spine. Deep breath in. Good. Bend your knees. Drop your torso parallel to the floor. Take your butt back again. So thighs parallel to the floor, reaching back. Torso parallels the floor, reaching forward. Just go halfway. Hug your upper arms towards each other. So move those armpits up and in towards the middle of your back. And then stretch the arms straight back, not up, but straight back. Good. And then do a little pulse there. So lift the hands just an inch above and drop, and up and drop. So from your shoulders, you're lifting armpits, 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 armpits. Perfect, Lana. You're doing it without the hands clasped. That's perfect. So if holding the hands doesn't work, that's fine. Just reach behind you. Do that little pulse. Good. And then lift and hold. Start to straighten your legs, butt to the sky, drop your head. Forward fold. Take the arms any amount more up and over or let them stay where they are. Good. And then release the hands down. Nice job, you guys. Walk back towards the top of your mat. Turn the left toes. Step back, downward facing dog. And staying in a state where you're not trying to change what is present or what isn't present. That you're studying how things are rising in your mind and dissolving in your mind. How the experience of how you interpret the world is shifting and shifting and shifting moment to moment to moment. And if you don't try and control it, where you end up is maybe somewhere that you've never ended up before. One more breath in down dog. Good. Right leg up and back, down dog split. Step the right foot forward between the hands. Back heel comes flat, baby toe parallels the back of your mat. Cartwheel the arms up to warrior two. Good. Nice, you guys. Drop that right hand down the back thigh, lift the left arm, reverse warrior. Sorry, I said that wrong. Left hand comes down the back thigh, right palm spins up and back, reverse warrior. A truly reverse warrior, everything is backwards. Good. Float yourself back up to center, please. Straighten that right thigh. Reach forward like you're going to come to triangle. Extend, 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 and then drop that right hand down just to touch the front leg or a block. Left arm up. So find triangle for a moment. And then bend your front knee, float back to warrior two. You see a theme for today, right? Drop the left hand down the back thigh, right arm spins up and back, reverse warrior. Good. Bring yourself back up to center. Straighten that front thigh, reach for triangle, so extend the rib cage forward, let that right hand drop down, left arm up, Don't get settled. Just find yourself there for a moment. Press that front shin forward, everybody. So take that lock out of the front knee. Good. Stacy, yep, there you go. Good, Crystal. Unlock that knee. Come all the way back up, please. Bend the knee. Warrior two. Last time, drop the left hand down the back thigh. Right arm reaches up and back. Good. Bring yourself back up to center, please. Straighten the front thigh. Notice there, right? So I said, don't lock the knee. So right there where your leg feels like it wants to lock, you got to push your shin forward to the point where you feel like you are purposefully bending your knee. And then pull that thigh up, up, up a little more into the hip socket. Now extend forward, find that triangle. Right hand touches down, left arm reaches to the sky. Do not lock that front knee. Pull the thigh up, but push your shin forward. Good. Nice, you guys. Bend the front knee again. Release both hands down to the floor. Back heel stays where it is. Both hands inside the front foot. Walk to the upper left-hand corner of your mat just a little bit more, or walk away from the front foot a little bit more until you feel a little bit of resistance. Widen that right inner knee. Squeeze the right butt cheek in so it stays in the midline. Good. Stays in a place that is neutral. Good. There's no desire to try to control. And instead, there's a desire to try to find the way to relate to the world in a balanced way, a peaceful way. It means that you have to find the peaceful place in you. It's the only way to do it. The neutral place in you. Walk yourself back towards the top of your mat. Spin your back heel up, please. Drop that back knee. Use a blanket there, under there if you'd like. And then move your left hip back so it's on top of the knee. Take your right leg forward to straight. Ardha Hanumanasana. Come up on the right heel. Good. Hands walking forward towards the ankle. Use blocks if you need. Those of you who are habitual knee lockers, you know who you are. Maybe you don't. Don't let your front knee lock. So Perry, knee has to get a little softer. So dig that heel down, everybody. Right heel digs down and drags back like you're trying to pull your right leg up into the hip socket. Good. And then try and lift that right shin up towards the ceiling. So it's going to feel like you are purposefully bending your knee. But as long as you are tilting your pelvis, so the top of your pelvis moves forward towards the floor. Yep. As long as you're tilting your pelvis and dragging that thigh back and in, you're going to get the stretch that you want, and you're not going to have that feeling of pulling on your knee. Good. Walk both hands to the inside of the front foot. Walk yourself a little bit more towards the left, so away from the front leg. Yep. But keep that heel dragging down. Keep your toes straight up and down. Just move your torso. Nice. Good, you guys. And then walk it back towards center, please. Walk your hands towards the outside edge of the leg. So left hand comes to the outside edge. Yep. Keep your toes straight up and down. Keep that right thigh pulling up and in. I know. We don't usually stay here this long and move around. I know. Good. Come back to center, please. Nice, you guys. Drag that right heel back in so you can plant the foot. And then what I'd like you to do is drop yourself back into half virasana. So that means that you're going to sit back inside of that left heel. So you might need a block underneath you or something to sit on. So your left leg is folded under. Yep, it doesn't have to change. You're just bringing your butt to the floor inside that left knee and extending the right leg back out to straight. So if you're not sure what I'm talking about, you can see what Sara's doing. So your right leg should be extended. Your left knee should be folded under. Good. And it should be straight ahead, so not flying out to the side. So if you need a block underneath your sit bones to make that happen, 2 blocks underneath your sit bones, pillows, sit on your cat, I don't know. Find something. Sit on 2 cats if you've got 2 cats. Good. Right leg stays extended. Awesome. So this might be enough and you're just going to stay right here. Or you're going to inhale the arms up to the sky. And you're going to bow forward over that right leg. Good. Now also a nice alternative if sitting in that position just does not work for your knees and you don't have the props necessary. Crystal has her left foot to the inside of her right thigh and her knee wide. So it's a different position, but it also completely works. Funny things, everything works. It's just a question of how it is allowing you to relate to the world in a peaceful way. Good. One more deep breath. And then walk yourself back in, please. Beautiful. Again, bend that right knee so that you can place that foot to the floor. Use your hands, bring yourself up out of the pose, come all the way back, downward facing dog. So you gotta come up. You gotta come back to hands and knees. Come back to downward facing dog. Wiggle your hips from side to side. Good. And then steady your heels, steady your hips, steady your heart. Steady your mind. Good. And left leg comes up and back, down dog split. Step that foot forward between the hands, lunge. Drop the back heel, baby toe parallels the back of your mat, cartwheel the arms up to warrior two. My greatest hope is that during all of that, you completely forgot where we started. The blessing of your mind, right? Is that if you're not focused on trying to keep things the same, is you can just be exactly where you are. And maybe you wouldn't even have noticed if I did something different. Right hand drops down the back thigh, left palm spins up and back, reverse warrior. Right, to have your awareness so much in the moment that you forgot what happened before. It's awesome. Come back to center, arms wide. Straighten your front thigh. So again, preparation for triangle. Extend that left arm and rib cage forward. Drop that left hand down, right arm up, but you're not resting there. I want you to just find triangle, open the ribs. Nice, Susan T and Susan C. Good, and then bend the front knee, come back to warrior two. Good, slide that right hand down the thigh, left arm reaches up and back, reverse warrior. Good, reaching from the top of your pelvis, so Jen, pull that left hip up, up, up. Good, and then bring it forward again, back to center, straighten the front thigh, reach for triangle, left hand comes down, right arm comes up. Don't let your knee lock. Again, if you know that this is your habit, get used to that awkward feeling of lifting your shin and pulling the thigh up into the hip socket. Good, bend the knee again, come back to warrior two. Drop the right hand down the back thigh, left palm spins up and back, reverse warrior. Really nice. Good, Rosalind. Nice, Helen. Nice, Lauren. Come back up to center, please. Last time, triangle, straighten that front thigh. Again, watching that already you're not locking that knee, and then extend forward. Left hand touches down, right arm up. Good, turn your ribs to the sky. Turn your armpit up to the sky. Top of your right thigh moves back in space. Good. It's your back thigh that has to move. Nice, Marla. And then bend that front knee, release both hands down to the floor. Both hands come inside the front foot. Back heel stays where it is. Good. Walk to your right just a little bit until you start to feel resistance. So you're moving away from the front leg, but your front knee is staying in line with the second or third toe. Your inner knee is pushing slightly wide, but your left butt cheek is pulling in. Pulling back and in. Good, Mark. Nice, Kristen. Good, one more breath. Nice job. And then walk yourself forward, please, back towards the top of the mat. Spin your back heel up, drop the back knee. Again, if you need a cushion underneath that knee, make sure you have a blanket or something there. And then move your right hip back in space, which is right on top of the knee, and take your left leg forward to Ardha Hanumanasana. So not sitting down yet, just straight up and down. So if you look at what Sarah's doing right now, she's a little too far forward, right? So her, that supporting leg, you want the hip right on top of the knee. Good, right on top, so neutral. And then walk yourself forward, please. Hands come towards that left ankle. And again, if your knee has a tendency to lock, you're digging the heel down and your knee is popping up slightly. So you're pushing your shin, the top of your shin, up towards the ceiling. And then it's gonna feel like maybe your knee is bent too much. So you pull the top of that thigh up and into the hip socket. And you tilt your butt to face back. So the top of your pelvis tilts forward and your tailbone goes up and back. And if you're doing that, you'll get plenty of stretch on your hamstring. Good. Nice, you guys. Deep, deep breaths. Whatever rises and whatever dissolves in your mind, don't try to control it. Good. Both hands come inside the front foot. Walk to the right or walk away from that front leg a little bit, but keep your toes facing straight up and down. Don't let the hip fly open. Keep that left butt cheek pulling back and in. Still pulling the left thigh up and into the hip socket. Good. And then walk yourself back to center. Really good, Debbie. Your foot's looking really good. Your knee's looking really good. Both hands come to the outside edge now, bringing that right hand to the outside edge of the foot. And walk yourself in that direction. Keeping that left foot steady, straight up and down. Pull that thigh up and in. Good. Nice one. And then walk the hands back to center, please. And now here's where we're going to come into that half virasana. So you can pull that left heel in a little bit so that you have the foot underneath you, if that makes it easier. And you're shifting your hips back, so you should be sitting right inside your right heel. So you're not sitting on it, you're sitting right inside. Good. That looks good, Andrea. Nice. And again, your right knee that's folded under should be pointing straight ahead. The top of your right foot should be flat to the floor. Good. And if that position doesn't work, if it really doesn't work and you don't have the right props to sit up and make it work, then bottom of the right foot to the inside of the thigh, let your knee go wide instead. Good. And then inhale the arms up to the sky, wherever you are, and bow over the left leg. Beautiful. Nice, Marla. Good. That leg that is extended, the heel still drags down and back. Really good, you guys. Transition. The way that you hold a moment, the way that you hold a posture is significant. How you move in and how you move out, even more powerful. So watch what your mind is doing here to make yourself feel comfortable while the moment is steady and static, right? I'm in this one position. And then watch what it does when you're getting ready to come out of the position. As you're getting ready to come out, is your mind ready to just jump and say, get me out as fast as possible? I don't care how. Or is your mind already looking to what is the way to come out of this posture and into the next one, where I feel completely at peace with myself, where I'm preparing for the next moment as I'm leaving this one, creating as I dissolve, that energy in between, the sustaining. We say this is always happening simultaneously. So start to find that, because this is your last breath in this position. So as you come out of the pose, do it consciously. Walk the hands back. Press into that shin that's on the floor. Drag that left heel back. And then use your legs as you come up. Use your hands to support. Come back to hands and knees. Good. And come back to downward facing dog. Again, this is your prana, the way that you react, the way that you respond to the world, whether it seems like it's meaningless in your mind, it's not a big deal, or if it seems like a huge deal, it's all a big deal. The way that you are guiding your prana, using your prana. Good. Deep breath in down dog. Nice. And then drop the knees to the floor, please, child's pose. Good. You breathe into that space at the back of your rib cage again. A lot of breathing as you come into Vata season. Not because it's going to magically make everything different or better, but because it's going to keep you in a state that is more clear. Right? Vata is already that energy of air. It's already the energy of breath that moves and moves and moves. The energy of your breath in your mind. prana, vata. By breathing deeply, you create that expansive container for everything that you need to feel full, complete, capable to rush in. Walk yourself back up, please. Stretch your legs out in front of you. Yep, straight out in front of you. Good. Hands alongside you, so feet flexed, chest down. And then bring the right knee in towards your chest. Good. Cross that foot over your left thigh. And then reach the left arm around that knee and take your right hand back behind you for twist. Final twist. Pull that thigh in towards the belly. Lift your belly up towards that thigh. Keep your right butt cheek on the floor. Good. Breathe into the back of your rib cage. I don't know where you are, Mark. You got to start sitting on your butt. There you go. Legs extended, straight out in front. Right knee bends, cross it over the left thigh. Good. Left arm wraps around, right hand behind you, twist. Other way. Good. Now that we're all on the same page. Come on back to center, please. Keep your leg where it is. Take both hands to the outside of your left hip. Yep. Keep your right butt cheek on the floor. Walk your hands to the left. And lift your shoulders. Lift your chest. Yeah. Stay long in your spine. Just twist your spine the other way. Good. And then bring it back to center, please. Unwind that leg. Right leg comes straight out and down to the floor. Bring your left knee in. Good. Cross it over. You got it. Right hand or right arm reaches around that knee. Left hand comes back behind you. Good. And some of you are hooking the elbow on the outside of the knee, and that's fine. That works too. Good. I just want you to have that awareness that as you draw that thigh in, you're actually hugging it in, so you get that stretch on the outside of the thigh up into the hip. And then you're pulling your belly up, so you're not leaning back behind your sit bones. You're actually bringing your weight forward towards the front edge of your sit bones. Good. Nice, you guys. And then unwind your twist, please. Keep the knee where it is. Take both hands to the outside of the right hip, so come the other way. It's funny, we call it the counter twist, the opposite way that you just did. It's not opposite to, it's not opposing anything. It's just going the direction you haven't already gone. And if you can bring that concept into your mind, that there are no opposings, there's just the place you haven't gone to yet. Place you haven't seen yet. Maybe it gets rid of a little bit of that anxiety about what's right and what's wrong. Come on back towards center, please. Good. Unwind the legs. Bring bottoms of the feet together, knees drop wide, Baddha Konasana. Good. Hands can hold the ankles, or you can walk the arms forward. This is your choice here. And then just start to, from your pelvis, from that front edge of your pelvis, start to lean forward and tilt your tail back. So the front edge of your pelvis spins forward, your inner thighs and your tailbone lift up and back, like you're trying to arch your lower back a little bit. Good. And then from that, continue to lean forward, walk forward, take your forward fold. Nice, Harriet. Harriet, your picture is right behind the little light that I have up on my screen. So you disappear for part of the class. I just noticed you again. I'm like, oh, Harriet. Keep your awareness. Keep your awareness expansive. You're not controlling the prana, but you are giving it the most expansive container possible for it to find its best equilibrium, for it to tell you this is what you need. Good. Walk yourself back up, please. Nice. Find your sit bones. Come up on your tippy toes, so you're still in that Baddha Konasana position, but up on your tippy toes. Hold the ankles, please. Yep. If you're right up against the wall, move forward a little bit, just so you've got a little bit of space. And then balancing on your sit bones, hug those knees up. Come into a little balancing Baddha Konasana. So balance on your sit bones, lift your feet up off the floor. Just knees wide, Stacy, if you can. Yep. Good. And then if you feel pretty happy there, go ahead and stretch the legs out wide to a balancing straddle, or even holding behind the thighs. You don't have to hold the feet. Good. You'd rather stay in that Baddha Konasana position. Go for it. Nice, Andrew. You got it. Good, Rosalind. Good. Teresa, don't give up. You got it. Good, good, good. And then where you're at, squeeze those legs towards each other, please, and lift your chest a little higher. Yeah, don't lean too far back, Laura. Good. And then bring the legs back to Baddha Konasana, bottoms of the feet together. Good. Drop the feet back to the floor, please, and drop back into your forward fold. Balancing, also considered very therapeutic for Vata, if you want to call it that, very neutralizing for Vata. Why? Because it brings you into focus. If you find yourself transitioning and you're wondering, how do I get my mind to stop spinning? How do I get myself to not be worried about the future? Balance on one leg, balance on your sit bones, balance on your head, balance on one arm. Bring yourself into focus. And if all of that sounds terrible, just breathe really deeply. That will also help. Walk yourself back up, please. Stretch your legs straight out in front of you. Good, flex the feet. Hands straight alongside you. So take the hands right alongside your hips. Push down. If your hands don't reach the floor completely flat, come to your fingertips or put something under your hands so that your hands can be flat. So flex your feet. This is Dandasana. Flex your feet, dig your heels down, pull your thighs in, push your butt back, and then pull up through your lower abdominals, lift through your chest, squeeze those upper arms towards each other, push into your hands like you're going to push the floor away. Good. So chest is open, throat lifts, crown of the head pushes to the sky. Purpose of this position is that literally everything is awake. Butt pushes back and down, legs push down, chest lifts up, chin is neutral, but throat is back. Close your eyes, go in, push into everything. Hands, legs, feet, navel, chest, arms, throat, crown. Everything engaged. There is nothing else except that internal world, please. Go ahead, Kristen, just pull your ribs in a little bit more. Yeah, so lift the back of the ribs home. One more breath, squeeze everything. Maybe even squeeze your eyes. And then release everything. Hooray. Powerful, right? When you come out of the pose, when you come out of the moment, when you come out of that feeling of control, you experience freedom. Scoot yourself forward, come onto your backs. You are engaging your prana with a yoga practice. You are studying your prana with a yoga practice. And even in those moments where it feels like, yeah, I'm squeezing everything, I'm trying to control it, I'm trying to hold it in, I'm trying to do whatever I'm trying to do. It's not to change what your prana is, but it's to give it the opportunity, the best opportunity to operate freely, balanced. Bend your knees, please. Cross your right ankle on top of your left thigh. Lift your left shin parallel to the floor, squeeze it in. Good. So use the hands for this variation is my suggestion. So you're going to draw the legs in, pull in, pull in, pull in, and push back into your lower spine. And then I want you to use the strength of your thigh, push your thigh against your hands, move your legs away from your low belly. So actually push out through your heel and let your legs move. So sometimes we say to bring the legs in and then push back to create resistance. I want you to actually push and let your legs move further away from your belly. Good. And then pull the knee back in, feel that stretch, and maybe your tail lifts a little bit. Try not to let it do it too much, but let it move, let it rotate. Good. And then push back through that thigh, move the legs back away from the belly. It's almost like you're doing a very gentle rocking extension on your lower spine. And then one more time, pull the legs in, squeeze in. And then curl into your ribs, please. Lift up head, neck, and chest. Reach a little further, reaching for your shin, your ankle, your foot. Just reach. Pull those legs in. Nice. And then slowly release. Good. Cross the right leg all the way on top of the left so the knees are stacked. Separate your feet. Reach for your ankles or your shins. Feet stay flexed, so Gomukhasana on your back. Good. Feet wide, Andra. Yeah, so knees crossed to separate the feet. There you go. Good. And Susan C., if you can take that left thigh all the way on top of the right, you'll get a little bit more. There you go. One more breath, please. And then unwind, hug the knees in. Good. And then left ankle comes on top of right thigh. Right shin parallels the floor. Reach through to hold the legs. Good. And squeeze in. So pull the leg in. Pull both legs in. Good. And then push the thigh back out. Extend out. Push through the heel. Take the tops of the thighs away from your belly. Find your lower back. Good. And then pull in again. Squeeze in. So every time we're looking for there to be a softness, a folding at the hip creases. Good. And then extend back out. Nice. And then pull all the way in. Nice. Every time you're trying to fold deeper at the thigh creases, keep your low back on the floor. And then stay there. Lift head, neck, and chest. Reach further forward. Reach further through the legs, maybe to try and find your calf or your ankle or your foot. You're pulling those legs in. Good. And then slowly release. Nice. Allison, I see your picture keeps flickering in and out, so I hope you're doing okay there. Good, you guys. And then cross the left leg all the way on top of the right, so the thighs are stacked. Separate the feet. Reach for the ankles or the shins. Again, Gomukhasana on your back. Good. Great to have the thighs together, and then if the feet can widen, again, you're creating an angle of the thigh into the hip socket. That's what creates the stretch. Nice. And then slowly unwind the legs, hug the knees in towards your chest. Good. Right knee stays in. Extend the left leg out and down to the floor. Good. Come into spinal twist. Bring that right knee across the body over to the left. Good. Sending out through the right arm or taking that arm up alongside the ear, whichever one works better. And can you feel that you are drawing into your navel? So even though you're twisting and you're thinking, oh, I can just let my knee relax, I can just let my shoulder relax, draw your navel in, draw your ribs in, and try and push from the front of your body to the back of your body like there's an invisible wall that you're going to bring your sacrum up to, your lower back. You're going to push it into that invisible wall. And then see what happens as you relax through the thigh and the shoulder. Good. Slowly release. Come back to center, please. Hug the knee in. And then switch. Right leg comes down to the floor. Left knee comes in. Come into spinal twist. Bring that knee across the body over to your right. And left arm can extend wide or it can come up alongside the ear. I do like when you do what you need to do, even if you're ignoring me. So good job. The other variations of twisting I see going on. Imagine again that there is that imaginary wall behind your back. So draw the navel in, draw the ribs in, and push your sacrum back into that wall. It's like you're giving a little bit of support to the twist from inside, and that's what you want. Your prana is your whole life. Learn to see how it gets caught in the movement of the world. Learn to see how it gets caught in its own habits. Those deeply rooted habits, we call them samskaras. Notice what it does, and then how you can suggest that there's a more spacious, more expansive place for it to flow. Come back to center, please. Hug that knee in. Good. Bring the right knee in with it. So both knees come in. Squeeze. Bring your forehead up to meet your knees. Hug. Good. And then release the upper back. Stretch the legs out in front of you. Good. Arms up alongside your ears. Flex your feet. Dig your heels down like a laying down Tadasana. Whole body awake. So press the thighs down. Dig the heels down. Ribs in. Belly in. Throat long. Pull those armpits down towards your hips, but keep reaching through the arms. Feel your hands on the floor. And then release everything. Let the feet drop open, arms alongside you, palms up. That moment when you completely give up control, you experience freedom. When there is nothing that inhibits your prana, and it will naturally find its way over and over again into a state that is peaceful, that is still. Breathe very deeply. And gently bring the awareness back to your breath. body begin to stretch, move in whatever ways serve it well. And as you're ready, draw the knees in towards your chest. Roll to your right side. And take a moment there before you begin to push the floor away and back to an upright seated position. Bring the hands together, palm to palm in front of the heart or whatever mudra has been serving you well. Mudras are a powerful thing that helps to bring your awareness, to bring your prana into focus. And holding them, again, how you hold them matters, but how you come into them and how you come out of them also matters. So when you release your hands at the end of class, what you release from yourself, what you release into the world is, what is that? What are you holding in this mudra? What are you holding in this moment that's going to bring you into the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one? And this is how prana works, right? It's that internal flow. It has nothing to do with what is outside. It will be influenced by, it will relate to what is outside. But it itself has an intelligence. I've been reading that, we've been talking about mandalas this week, but I've been reading that we are existing in that mandala of the divine mind, right? That's your mind. So the creation and the dissolving and the experience that you have within you that's happening within this hugeness, this vastness. And it's only because we're so close to it that it feels like it's so small. So we practice yoga to get to that state where we can see that there's so much expansive space for us to fill, as long as we don't try too hard to control it. So can you let your mind be like that your mind is the divine mind, that mandala creates and it dissolves and it sustains all simultaneously. At each moment, what are you holding? Are you holding it with the desire to sustain? Or are you holding it with the desire to control? The less you control, the more empty you become. Fullness, completeness, wholeness will rush in. It's your whole practice, your prana. Your whole practice is just that. Your whole life is just that. As the seasons change, transitions happen. Stay steady with that. Go in. Close the sound of Om, deep breath. Sliding the thumbs up to the space between the eyebrows. Namaste, everybody. Thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your day, great rest of your week until I see you again. If you're staying for meditation, you don't need to come off. You can stay right where you are. If you want to come off and come back on, you're welcome to, but I'm going to leave this up. Please do check out, again, starting September, there's a couple of little schedule changes and new things coming up. I have a new class starting not this Monday, but the following Monday, the master class, Mondays, 4:30. It's going to be basically Yoga Geek just every week where we're taking apart poses, and not all of them will be complicated challenge poses. They'll be just all poses that we're breaking down. So check those things out. Questions and stuff like that about the